Hi, I'm Jessica Espinoza, and today I will be talking to you about implementing mobile learning in our K through 3 classrooms. Why we should introduce mobile learning into our classrooms. First of all, it gives students more one-to-one learning. They can work on that by themselves more independently and basically do a lot by themselves rather than depending on a teacher. It also allows students to work at their own pace. Many students advance in things way faster than other students. So, with having these iPads, teachers can make it to where the students who are advanced in that subject can move forward, whereas the kids who are struggling can stay there and take their time and try to understand it better. And with that teacher's help, I think every kid will be able to get to the same level. Students don't have to wait for the rest of class. They can move forward or stay back if they need to. Classwork is always available for them. iPads can be taken home. They're flexible. They can be put in a backpack, and classwork that isn't finished, they can work on it at home, or homework, they can work on it at home as well. Taking their mobile device home with them to do their work if not finished in class, or doing homework. Notes are also included and can be reviewed whenever they need it. With teachers adding notes to their iPads, either it's Google Classroom, Schoology, whatever they want to use, what the teacher uses, the students can always go back and look at the notes that relate to their homework and kind of figure out what they're doing and have that to look back at. It gives more time in the classroom for independent learning. It gives the children to become more familiar with the latest technology. Nowadays, we're having to use a lot of technology, especially with COVID. So I think it'll really help these students, especially in the future when they get to college. They're gonna know how to use this technology, and also with future jobs, a lot of jobs are using everything on computers. So with that Web 2.0 technology, I think it'll help them a lot. It also cuts down the amount of paper we are using in the classrooms. A lot of teachers can get disorganized with the amount of papers that kids are turning in or the amount of papers that they're handing out. All these assignments can be put on their classroom and they're also easier to grade. What type of mobile device? I believe the best device for our younger classrooms would be an iPad. I say this because children can learn how to type and use multi-touch navigation skills and also problem solving. On the iPads, they can have educational games, they can download educational puzzles, they can also have ebooks. This also can help with cognitive skills. Students with cognitive delays can benefit from this type of learning by boosting their language development and their social skills. iPads can be taken anywhere. They can be taken home. If you want to go outside and work on an assignment, they can be taken outside. They are great for outside activities, so the children's papers aren't flying around. I mean, I remember a lot of times when we'd go outside to do like an assignment, if you didn't have a clipboard, then your paper was flying around everywhere, and it was hard to write on things. So with an iPad, I think it'll make it a lot easier. The touchscreen is easier for a child to use than using a mouse or a keyboard. If a student does prefer to use a keyboard, they can get the attachment keyboard, and that's how they can type. But I think with the younger students, especially K through 3, the touch screen will be a lot easier for them. The cost of the iPads. One iPad costs around $300 to $400. So for the 200 kids in our K through 3 classes, the cost would be around $60,000. I know that sounds like a lot, but with cutting the amount of paper being used, printed, and the ink cost for our printers, also laminating stuff, that cuts down a lot of money. And also with iPads, you can use them for future generations also. You can keep them in the classroom, and new classes can keep using them and using them. They can be passed down whenever need be. Implementation. iPads can be kept in the classroom to charge and to be kept safe. If they aren't having to take them home, they have to leave them at school so they're not like playing on them at home, downloading games that don't need to be on there. iPads can be taken home to work on assignments, but must be brought back to school the next day, especially if we're going to be implementing them a lot. If they forget their iPad, then they're not going to be able to work on what they need to in the class. These should only be used for schoolwork. No additional apps should be on the iPad, especially games or YouTube. I mean, we can use YouTube, but definitely have an age restriction and like some of the other stuff blocked, mainly used for like educational videos. Each individual student will be assigned to an iPad, and that's one they will always use, especially with like being sanitary and trying to keep germs to ourselves. I also included this picture. Wash your hands before touching iPads. No food or beverages near the iPads so they don't break the iPads. Take care of them. Have cases. Always hold them with 2 hands. Use them when you're sitting down. Only use the Apple website that is asked. That is especially important, or it'll become a distraction. Do not play with the buttons or use any other tools. The advantages to having iPads. Saves a huge amount of money that we spend on paper and textbooks, especially with the younger kids. We can add in ebooks, so we can download ebooks and we don't have to keep buying picture books or children's literature. Introduces new learning styles such as visual learning and audio learning. It kind of teaches children how to change what kind of learning style they're using, and it also benefits to every type of learning style. Students will be better prepared for the future with using technology in their future career. You can do virtual field trips. I've done these a couple times in high school, and I thought it was really cool because we could do anything, like especially in science, you could do chemistry, or you can go like do a zoo virtual field trip instead of actually going. Customized learning for each student. Each student has their work customized to them in the way they work. Helps with organization skills. Students tend to get really unorganized with a lot of papers, and I think with having an iPad, everything will be more organized and help them have less excuses for why their homework isn't done. Teachers can easily plan out lessons and make activities. Being online and using an iPad, they can make lessons for future, and I think it'll be easier for them, especially like making activities. They can use Kuya to make activities, as we've done in the class. Smoother and faster communications with students. You can grade stuff right away, and you can give them feedback on it on the iPad, and also parents can see this feedback you're giving to the students, and you can also communicate with parents through this if they're taking them home. All materials online and can be accessed at any time. If a student's sick, they can have their iPad and they can still work on the classwork that was given that day so they don't fall behind. And then there are numerous resources for all types of subjects. There are plenty of apps that you can download for math, science, history, reading, writing. And that's it. And then I handed you out this brochure, iPads in the Classroom. I kind of implemented some things that I thought really stuck out to me. So, yeah, thank you.